Hello, everyone. Welcome to the eSight Vision Central, the Great Outdoors on April 29th, 2022. It's 11:30 a.m. and welcome for everyone who has been coming into this. I hope everyone can see the screen here, and we'll wait a few minutes to make sure everyone comes in. I'm very excited for this and looking forward to it. And just for my other panelists on there, did everything look good on your end?
So far, so good.
Excellent. That's great. All right. And since we're talking about the great outdoors, right now here I'm in Ottawa. It's nice and sunny and bright, but I'm inside and I know what to do now. Thanks to the Vision Central, we go inside. And we're going to have fun with this today. And I am looking forward to everyone seeing the videos we put together, and we got some photos, and this will be good information. And all the information that we have in this Vision Central is general knowledge that's in our eSkills training program and so forth. But the great thing with the Vision Central is we have videos and other ways of learning about it. And going from there, whoops, I clicked and I did not mean to click. There we go. All right, so I'm just thinking now, Rosa, just while I am sitting here, can we see if, any participants or anything right now? Should we give it a minute or so?
We definitely have participants. I would give it another minute or two, just based on our prior information we discussed. We might give it another minute.
Okay, sounds good. And I'm seeing my screen share right now, and I'm not seeing any information, so I'm relying on Rosa's eyes. I just have the open in front of me, so I thought, well, I'm just gonna ask her and go from there.
It's customary. Give 3 minutes or so just to make sure people get their logins done.
True. Yuval used to do music and stuff. I'm not technically sound enough to get my so if one of the eSight coaches would like to sing,
tell jokes, Tyler.
Oh, I don't know any good jokes, Richard. So you know,
we can continue with the weather roundtable. It's raining here in Montana.
Wow. Okay.
Which would be a point of fact. Let's not wear our eSight outdoors in the rain.
That's true.
There we go.
Bad things will happen.
If it is raining outside, you know, you can use an umbrella as long as you're being very cautious and so forth. Or you know, always have to take it off and put it in the carrying case and go from there. We actually had snow a few days ago here in Ottawa, and it stayed for a while. That wasn't very fun. So I'm hoping that the warm weather stays here now. Well, I think it's been a couple of minutes.
Good. Yeah, I think we're good.
Yep. So why don't we get started and we'll move on to the agenda. So welcome to the eSight Great Outdoors Vision Central here. And today we're going to learn about how to use our eSight outside. We've got a number of videos and photos to use. And after we go through that stuff, we will have time for questions at the end. This is a live, so things might happen. You know, things might glitch out, videos might not play they're supposed to. Who knows? But we will handle it the way it goes. This is for users of eSight only, so there's no one else in here but users. So feel comfortable to ask questions and so forth. Feel comfortable to ask anything regarding the topic, and we'll be happy at the end to help you and assist you with any clarification. You can raise your hand to ask questions throughout the program if you need to. On the computer, it's Alt and Y to raise your participant hand in the Zoom meeting. And on the Mac, Jeanette, is it Command and Y?
I always get mixed up, but I think it's Options Y.
Options Y. Okay, I wanted to say Options. I'm not a Mac user, so Options Y. That sounds right to me. All right, and it's Options Y to raise your hand on the Mac. And this session should only take about 30 minutes, or maybe a few minutes longer. We have a bit of content here, and you know, just to go over the videos and everything. So let's continue on. For basic foundation, just making sure you have the device fitting on your head is pivotal. Pivotal. Yeah, forget that. See, this can be live, everyone. It's pivotal. Oh, that's great. Anyways, making sure it's comfortable and it fits well. And so you can use the unit, and it's you know, eSight's designed to keep you mobile with the bioptic tilt and being able to tilt the visor and walk around with the unit, and that's something we are going to get around into today. Cable management is also important to have a system. You know, if you're dealing with your eSight 3 and you have the cable and you're being mobile or outside, you know, wanting to make sure you know where that cable is, maybe tucked over your shoulder or maybe pinned to a shirt, just to make sure you don't get snagged or anything like that. And also, you know, keeping additional batteries on hand or having a good battery management system. So if you're using your eSight and say, I know I'm going to be out for a while, being grocery shopping or, you know, going to a park and so forth, I'm going to be a while, I'll make sure to have that extra battery with me and I can swap out for my eSight 4 or have my external battery charger for the eSight 3. So using eSight aside, here is the agenda. First off, we're going to talk about using the eSight in bright sunlight. So we're going to be using sunglasses and hats, and that's going to be with Rosa. And then we're going to be looking at distant objects with Richard. And then we're going to have go over how to cross the street and some tips for that with Cosmo. And then using the eSight at nighttime and dusk and at night with the flashlight with Jeanette. So first off, why don't we go into using the eSight in bright sunlight? Rosa, if you'd like to bring that up, and I'll bring up your photos if you like first, and then you can show how you've been doing it. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. So I'll bring up the photos here of Rosa. So there is Rosa with her eSight, and you can explain what the first photo is, and I can switch over to the next one when you're ready.
So for me, I have a lot of light sensitivity, so I never go outdoors without sunglasses. You can either wear sunglasses on their own, or for me, I have sunglasses that fit over my prescription glasses. So in order to place the sunglasses under your visor, you just pivot your visor up, you put your sunglasses on, you give yourself a little bit of spacing by dialing the two wheels on the either arm forward and bringing your visor back down. My sunglasses in particular have wraparounds so that it covers both under and the sides. Everybody has their own styles that they prefer. A tip for wearing sunglasses with your eSight, you may have to adjust the screen brightness because of obviously things are going to be dimmer. So you may need to increase the screen brightness a bit up further to get through the sunglasses for you to see the screen better. But I find it super helpful to wear sunglasses when I'm outdoors. If you can go to picture number 2, a lot of people ask about using a hat with their eSight. The hats that we have found most applicable is something like a baseball cap. And in this photo, I'm showing you how I'm trying to place the bill of the baseball cap between the halo arm that goes up over your forehead and where the visor is connected to the eSight. So you're going to slide the hat through those two components before you put it on. And then if you go to next photo, Tyler, then you'll have the bill of the hat, you know, kind of coming out over your eSight, and you're able to still have your eSight below. Now, the only thing with this is you're not going to be able to do much of the pivoting to pivot the eSight up and down. You're going to have less mobility there because you've got the bill of the hat blocking. But often people find having a baseball cap gives them that additional coverage that they need. For me, I do both the sunglasses and the hat. You may find just the hat is enough, but it often people ask, how is it that I insert the hat? So if we want to go live, Tyler, I can actually show in live here how to insert. So if, I don't know if you can spotlight me or if you guys can see me here, but if you can see me on the panelist section on the side there, I'm taking my eSight off. I'm going to hold the hat. I'm going to slide it here between the front of the eSight and the halo. And then I'm going to put it on. So this gives me the ability to have the hat on there. I may need to give myself a little bit more room here. Adjusting the size of the halo itself, and then I can slide it down and hat is below there. So hopefully you can see me here, but otherwise we can show you the picture again if you like.
Okay.
They're my tips for hats and sunglasses.
That's great. And that stuff all we can all go over with you as coaches. And one thing too, as I found, I'm not one to bend the beak of my head. I like more keeping it straight, and that's affected by optic tilt as well. And if I'm ever if I do need to tilt it up, I'll just kind of tilt the hat up and I'll just raise the whole unit up at the same time. And that's something that we can do. Okay, great. Thank you, Rosa. That was wonderful.
You're
So
welcome.
next we're going to do looking at some distance objects with Richard. And Richard, I'm going to pull up your first video here, and you can explain what we are, what we're seeing. So here's the outside video with the zooming here. Which one here? I'll put two like that. I'm going to do the outside here with the I think the horseshoe thing.
Oh, okay.
And I'll mute the sound and anything explain it.
Okay, so what I'm doing now is, of course, the first thing I do, just like Rosa, is I wear sunglasses outside. So I will put my eSight into outdoor mode, and then I increase the screen brightness so that it cuts through my glasses. Right now I'm in a fairly minimal zoom, pretty low zoom. Now I'm starting to zoom in, and this is just my backyard. Those are disc golf goals that I just have for fun to practice with and stuff like that. But as you can see, they can blend into the background quite easily. So the zoom comes in really, really handy for me to be able to locate them and to find them. As you zoom in, you can begin to see the structure of the goal a lot easier. You can see the chains and the frisbees themselves. It is a somewhat of an overcast day. In the future videos, we'll be able to show you more. Now, I'm going to zoom in on this birdhouse that is a very sad birdhouse. It probably has very sad birds that live in it, but it's all the way at the back of my property. It existed before we moved in, actually. So I'm zooming in, and one thing I found out while you're recording a video, I wanted to show you the freeze framing. Unfortunately, you can't freeze frame when you're recording. So as you can see, there's a little bit of movement. That's coming from being at such a high zoom level that even though I am, I'm pretty steady, especially being a coach, I know how to, hold really still, but under that level of magnification, there's always going to be a little bit of movement. So if there was a bird sitting in front of there, I could have just held down that middle button, did a freeze frame, and really got a good look at it. Now that won't help you like actively if you're wanting to see it in the moment, but if you wanted to get a good look and just hold it still, that freeze frame is a very good option. And as you could see before, when I went back, that was to demonstrate the reset button and how you can always just hit that reset button and then zoom back in on something that you want. Also, you can see that the more that movement there is, the more you'll have to wait a second or two for that focus to really come in, right? But like I said, that is very far away. I actually have a pretty big backyard, and so it's actually pretty far. So if we go to the next video, I'll show you something that I think we all really enjoy, especially as parents, and that's being able to kind of watch what your kids are doing when they're playing outside. I have a patio and a little gazebo on my back porch, so I can sit there. Oh,
Click something wrong. Hold on, there's a. See, we're live, folks.
Hey, it's live. It's live. It is live.
There we go.
But yeah, so I have a little patio area that I can set on the patio and then zoom in and be able to see my daughter playing on her trampoline. She's gonna, do some trampoline stuff. I don't know, she's having fun. So that's all that matters. But it's nice because if I was sitting on my porch, I couldn't see her from that distance. No way. And as you can see, I can see her quite easily with the eSight, and I'm probably at about a 10, maybe an 11, somewhere around there on the zoom level, and it's not so far zoomed that I'm able to hold it steady real easy, right? So demonstrates the difference there between your moderate zoom and kind of your really high levels of zoom, so you know what to expect. But yeah, she's just doing her She's doing her flips and stuff like that. And there's actually a netting around that. And as you can see, I'm not having any problem seeing through that with the eSight. I didn't have to like do anything special. I just left it in a regular outdoor mode, and it's picking that up just fine. So yeah, yeah, she's just going to town with it.
No, that's great, Richard, and that's the one thing I like with the video too, with the netting, is you're able to see through that, and the autofocus is able to do its thing. And the one thing to keep in mind is with the birdhouse, Richard is so far away. Looking at that birdhouse in general, one thing to keep in mind is that you can walk closer to the birdhouse, and then if you walk closer, you then don't need as much magnification to zoom in.
Yeah.
It's just, if there's a real bird there, it's just playing that game of how close can get to the birdhouse without scaring the bird away. I've done that with squirrels before, where I've got closer to the squirrel and then added zoom or reduced the zoom slightly so it's more stable.
Yeah,
which is good stuff.
Just for like frame of reference, I mean, our backyard is probably a half-acre lot, so I mean, it's pretty far. It's pretty far.
That's great. Oliver. Okay, so next we're going to do Cosmo crossing the street, and we're going to start off Cosmo with your video of you talking about bioptic tilt, and I'm going to pull that up right now, and I'm going to have the audio for this because you did a great commentary on this. And I'm going to pause it here, and because you started talking right away. Joy to being live. There we go. Okay.
Well, we may want to share the sound there. It's a little quiet.
Oh, is it loud? Or is it?
Oh, it's
okay.
Very quiet. We may want to just make sure that the sound is being shared.
Oh, okay. I thought
It's being shared. It's just quiet.
Okay, I don't know why it'd be quiet.
Well, it's kind of the nature of the beast.
All right. Well, I'll meet you, Cosmo. If you could just run over, kind of what you're trying to say, because I love how you're showing how it's done. And
the screens on the eSight 4 are twice as bright as the eSight 3, and so it works really well outside. Yeah, I'm just demonstrating how you can wear sunglasses underneath. I don't find it necessary for my eyes, but it is a nice feature. And even in the bright Los Angeles sunlight, the screens are nice and bright, and the sun doesn't really affect it. It's pretty amazing.
Perfect. Excellent. Okay. And then next, for your next video, I'll pull up the street sign that you're looking at, and I'm going to keep it on mute there, and you can kind of talk through what you're showing, which is great.
So here I'm going to maximum zoom, and like Richard said, even us pros, when you're at that level of zoom, the head movement makes it a shaky image, but I'm able to get a good image there and read Buffalo Avenue. And there I'm using the finder to locate the next sign. So I held down the finder button, and there's Bessemer. And that's a nice clear image at, I think, like times 18 zoom. And now there, pause it, Tyler.
Yep.
Right there, the sky is backlit with the sign. So that makes it a little bit harder to read that text. So what I'm going to do right here is dial up the contrast a little bit, and you'll see that helps a little bit. I mean, this is a challenging thing for a camera to be able to see, a backlit sign with a bright sky behind it. So go ahead and unpause.
Yep, for sure.
And so you'll see it get a little bit better. And I'm using the finder again. Thank you, Cade. Finder to just be able to get as much of the image on the screens as I can. And there's some wind chimes.
Very nice.
And again, I'm holding down the finder button on when you're wearing the eSight, you'd see a little box that's your target. You don't get that when you capture video. And just looking at a flower. And that's the end. I don't catch anything else good in the video. So
Okay, yep. No, that's great. And the nice thing with the sign too, sometimes when you're dealing with the lighting, the angle of what you're looking at the sign is important. So if it is backlit and kind of dark, if you step a little bit to the side or just kind of look up slightly, it does get the auto exposure to kind of make an adjustment. It's a little bit of a fine art with depending on the lighting where you are. When you're outside, it can be very, very dynamic. But that's great, Cosmos. Thank you very much. And next, we're going to be talking with Jeanette using the flashlight at dusk. Sorry, not well, using the eSight at dusk, and then using the flashlight at night and late dusk. So, Jeanette, I'm going to pull up one of the dusk videos here, and let you explain that. So,
You can pull out the just the one at dusk first if you can find it. Because what I'm going to do is chronological. So I apologize in advance if anybody gets seasick because I'm wobbling all over the place. But basically, what I really wanted to illustrate here is, and this is kind of outside in the grounds around our house, and I really wanted to illustrate. This was about 7:45 at night, and here in Florida at the moment, 7:45 at night, it's getting very dark. It's not quite dark enough to be night, but it's getting there. But you can see I've tried to illustrate the difference, and there's my front door. I've tried to illustrate the difference between the indoors and the outdoors so that you can see that I do actually have some lights on, but when we go outside, you can see just how bright that eSight makes that dusk. It almost looks like it's afternoon, doesn't it? It's not, you really wouldn't know that that's dusk, 7:45 at night, 7:50 at night. Sorry, it's going all over the place, but I really wanted to show what exactly you can see. You can see the vegetation. In a while, I do actually, is this the one that's late at dusk, or is this just the dusk?
It's just the dusk one.
Yeah, this is just the dusk, see? So you can still see the coloration of stuff. It's, even when I go out at dusk at this point, I normally start to struggle to see the colors of things. And even though we have some landscape lighting on already because it's that dusk, the camera's not really affected by that. So you're really seeing, and I've got some zoom and I'm playing around with like zooming in on different vegetation so that you can really see the colors. So you can see that at dusk, that eSight brightens everything up considerably for you. So if you're going for a walk and you have your eSight tilted halfway up, you're going to be able to take advantage of about, I'm going to say it's going to be about 3 shades brighter than it actually is in real life. So you can see those colors, look at those colors, and you can still see at the distance, you can still see, I'm showing the street, there's a car going by, I zoomed in on that, it's very easy to see. And again, you get a good profile of the street, of the distance, of everything around there, and you really wouldn't know that that's dusk.
That's great. Should
you
we
can
move
see
on
all
to
those colors, right? You can see all of those details there, and that's dusk. Okay, so I mean, if you've had enough of that, that's fine. We could move on maybe to the darker one.
Yep, let's open up the later dusk one. So here we go. Late dusk.
This now I'm showing you in my office as well. And I'm looking out of the window in my office because I want to show that the lights are on. This is at about 8:15 now in Florida, which for all intents and purposes, it's just below dark. There's just enough sky to say you can just about see that there's still skylight there, but it's pretty much dark. And you can see that inside of my office, it's all lit up. Outside the grounds, the lights are on. But look, if we look up at the sky, you can still see a blue sky. You can still see, when you see the contrast between this and when I get there, it's all lit up inside, and then outside, can you see that that blue hue there, you're really getting quite a bright representation of what's outdoors. Everything's starting to look bluish, but it's still pretty bright considering with a normal eyesight, without this enhanced vision, it's pretty much dark. And in a moment, I'm gonna sort of go outside, go out of my office and go outside. I'm just showing you the sky here just so that you can see that it is actually almost black, but it's with the eSight, it's definitely giving you considerable bright light. And I mean the eSight, don't be confused, the eSight is not designed to be a night camera. It's not like those night vision sort of shades. It's supposed to just enhance. And I'm going outside now just to show you. You see that sky? It almost looks like it's just about sunset, doesn't it? But it's actually very, 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 very barely light at all. You can see now that the sky is dark, but you can see that the eSight's brightening it up quite considerably.
And I also noticed your little path lighting there. They
Yes.
definitely lit up on the path quite nicely, and
That's exactly
the
right.
eSight picked that up quite well. All
That's
right, and let's
exactly right.
and let's
And then
go
this-
into
Yeah, this last video is just a quickie, and it's really just to show you the flashlight. Unfortunately, it does not video me turning the flashlight on. I can't do that. But once the flashlight is on, look how it's showing up that the key hole for me to put my key in the door. And the flashlight is on, and I've zoomed up a little bit, maybe about 6 times, maybe a tiny little keyhole. And that light is really giving me enough brightness just to see exactly where everything is. And there you go.
perfect. Now, just for context with the flashlight, can you walk over how to turn the flashlight on and what kind of process is?
Absolutely. So because I was videoing this, I had to actually turn the flashlight on before I took the video. If you do want to video something for some reason and you want to turn the flashlight on, do so beforehand, because you do have to go into what we call the context menu, which on your remote control, if you're using a remote control, it's the second one down from the top. Okay, and if you want to turn your flashlight on, go into that context menu first, arrow down to the bottom option, which is your flashlight, then you can press the center button to turn it on. And then that's how you can use your flashlight. If you do decide you want to video, do that first, because once you go into your video, that context menu becomes a menu for the video, okay? If you're using your flashlight from your eSight itself and you don't have your remote control with you, on the side of the eSight, on the right-hand arm, parallel to your right temple, you have a little set of bumpy lines at the back of the eSight and at the front of the eSight. And in between these lines, you have a very small, smooth touchpad. And you also have on the top of that arm, you have next to your power button, if you feel just in front of your power, you have a context button, a very small button. And if you press that quickly and find that little swipe pad between those dotty lines, you can actually flick down towards the floor with your finger to get to the flashlight and then tap, and that will turn the flashlight on. Tap, it'll turn it off. And then to come out of that menu, you can again press that context button. So that's 2 ways of getting into the context menu to actually, access your flashlight.
Perfect. Okay, great. Excellent. So we've got everything covered. Wonderful.